with Leanne Townsend, who is a divorce lawyer and was to be one of our speakers for the speaker series that was to be tomorrow night. But since we couldn't do that, we're here online. So hi, Leanne. Thanks so much for joining me.
Happy to be here. It's my pleasure to join you. And yeah, it's funny. Tomorrow night was the big night, and well, we're here instead. So maybe June will work out.
Yeah, hopefully June will work out. That would be that'll be ideal. I think if we can, hopefully I'll be back to normal by then. But I was excited to talk to you for a couple of reasons, and one is I've been thinking about you, all of the Facebook memes that are going across during this time of saying they're either going to be in 9 months, lots of babies or lots of divorces. And I know you're right in the middle, in the thick of all of that. And I wonder if what you've been experiencing through this with your clients and with the people you've just engaged with on a regular basis.
It's been busy. I've been finding, a lot of clients who have, separation or divorce concerns, or they're involved in one. They're not sure, whether their custody orders apply, or they're withholding access, or they don't want to give access because they feel that the other parent isn't practicing the same, hygiene or whatever, or safe practices. And so I've been finding it's been quite busy with a lot of that sort of stuff going on. And people are really, like, my clients are normally stressed out and negative to begin with, because when you're going through separation and divorce, you're usually negative and stressed out. Yeah. But the whole COVID-19 thing has just added like a whole other level to it, and people are just like, I get on the phone and they're and it's just like, calm down, breathe. And it's, I think everyone's really stressed out these days.
Yeah, that's true. And what are you advising people as far as what they should be doing in this time? Because obviously there is an added layer of stress as far as going out and socializing and social distancing. Even being with family is, they're saying, is something that you should avoid.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I mean, in terms of the family law aspect, I'm telling people that if you have a separation agreement or you have a court order, those things stand, and you must still exchange access unless, if a child or someone in the home is showing symptoms of COVID-19 or has been out of the country and there's a reason to be quarantining, then that would trump any, separation agreement or court order. But otherwise, you have to follow the order. And, as I say, like, people, you're running into situations where, some households, are inevitably, they're not going out at all. They're, being very strict and everything. And then there's some where people are still, going out for a walk or going out to the grocery store or, things like that. And so, I'm finding warring parents are using those types of things as reasons disagree about what they should do with respect to custody and access exchanges.
Yeah, which is really tough. I mean, I'm my business is a travel agent, and I have heard from friends and clients who have kids who have gone away. They're even quarantining with the family that they were away with, and not necessarily even with another parent. I know a couple of those situations where
my daughter is doing that.
Well, exactly, and it's difficult all around, because you want to make sure that person is safe, but they are not supposed to, but they're supposed to be quarantined. So, and who knows how long that's going to go on for, or how many people are still impacted by that.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, my daughter was away for break with her dad and his family, and they came back and had to self quarantine, and her dad was going to be essentially working from home and be on the phone all times. So it made sense for her to go to her aunt's where her cousins are, so she'd have other kids around. So she's there till next Monday before she can come home. And it's, I think, a big part of it, the stress for so many people is it's just the uncertainty, right? Because we don't know when this is going to end. And I know, even with my clients, like, the courts right now are shut down except for emergency matters. And we don't know when that's going to change. And, we don't know how long we're going to have to social distance. And I think that's hard for people.
Yeah, I know. I don't cope well with uncertainty. So I keep a very I try to have as much of a structure as I possibly can to my day, which is I do go out for a walk to get a coffee at a local coffee shop that is only doing takeout as per the law, and they come back and go to work and then do these things are actually these interviews are actually providing another layer of structure to the day. And then my boyfriend's working from home right now, which is not a usual thing for him. So yeah, there's a lot. Even if you're just dealing with two people, there's a dynamic that is a shift that can cause stress that is not normally there.
For sure. I mean, I know I'm not like, I used to work from home a while back, like a number of years ago, and I haven't in a while. And I find it's challenging. The structure is, I've learned I do very well when I have structure, and when I don't have structure, I'm not as productive, to be honest. And I really have to, be mindful of that. Otherwise, this could be a complete disaster.
Yeah, totally different situation. But you've also added a podcast into your offering. And what inspired you to do that?
Well, it's something I've wanted to do for a while. And, it's one of those things you keep you want it to be perfect. So you don't do it. And finally, I just, decided to go ahead and do it. And the idea was to provide information and support from a holistic perspective for people who are going through separation and divorce. So I interviewed different people in the divorce, but also the wellness field, and just different things to bring, as you say, a holistic, approach in terms of, physical health, mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, for people, because I think it is such a tough time. I mean, there are divorce podcasts out there, but I haven't come across one that's taking the same type of approach that I am with this holistic perspective.
So where do people find your podcast? Is it on a website, or what platforms can they find it on? We'll put the link in the comments for sure, but where can people find it?
It's on my website, which is www.leannetownsend.ca. And it's also, you can find it on all the major, like it's on iTunes, Spotify, Google, Anchor. There's all this, there's like 8 platforms it's on. So it should be easy enough to find.
Oh, great. So, and the one that I saw that is just out is about divorcing with divorcing a narcissist. Sorry, you'll have the proper title.
Yeah, that's always been I find a very popular topic. A lot of people seem to relate to it. So I interviewed a woman who is now an advocate for people coming out of abusive relationships. Her name's Julie McLaughlin, but she also was married to, or in a common law relationship with someone who was. So that's the interview. And I also did a podcast last week where I talked about COVID-19 and its effects on family law. So if anyone, is looking for information on that, I interviewed another family law lawyer, and there's some helpful information there.
Oh, great. So yeah, we'll definitely post that in the link, because all of these close quarters people are starting to crawl up the walls already, and who knows what they're going to uncover in the time that they're isolated together.
Hopefully there won't be any homicides, and I shouldn't even joke about that. That's a whole other thing too. Like people who are in abusive relationships, this is a really tough situation to be, confined to the home with someone who's an abuser. So, it's really important that they have people in that situation have a safety plan in place.
Well, I did hear a stat that even for kids as well as adults, that the call volume into the kids' help phone has gone up 3 times the normal amount, just because of kids being isolated, not being able to be at home, not being able to have their normal routine, and those sort of resources are fundamental in these times. So I hope that people are reaching out to those as they need, and can find those different. Because they're.
And I think I heard. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
I think I heard that the federal government had put some money aside as well for shelters and things, like more money to help, with more beds or more spaces or something. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, that is good. It's good, especially in this time. So if you are, I hope you're going to be able to come on June 16th, and that works for you, because we've tried twice now. The first time,
I know.
unfortunately, you were
Three
ill,
three
and
times
and
the
the second time COVID. I'm like, oh my gosh, poor Leanne. She's been.
It's like a sign from the universe.
I don't know. I don't know. So how often are your podcasts coming out these days?
Right now, they're coming out twice a week, Mondays and Wednesdays. The plan is ultimately they will be a weekly podcast on Wednesdays, but right now I'm releasing 2 a week.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. Well, that's great. So I've had a lot of people request the different interesting podcasts. So we'll definitely add that to the list. I know that there is an email thread going around through a group called website called the Ladies Community, and they were asking for people to post podcasts on there. So I will definitely add yours to that list. And
Thank you.
and if anybody needs to contact you, if they've got some legal advice, how is the best way to get in touch with you? Is that through your website?
Yeah, through my website, leannetownsend.ca is probably the best way. The firm I'm with is Brody Thorning LLP. You can also find me on their website at www.btlegal.ca, but you can find me on either site.
Great. And where's that located? Is that I think that's in St. Clair.
No, it's downtown,
Okay.
Toronto, at like Front and Bay.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
your Union Station if people are coming on transit.
Oh, perfect. That's great. Great. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I look forward to seeing you at the next Rising Tides event, and we'll post all the information, because it's important time to just make sure that you have all your ducks in a row and make sure that you're taken care of. So thanks very much for sharing and for being here with me today.
Thank you. It's been my pleasure.
Thanks.